So this is big news here in in Santa Maria. Tell me what's going on.
Well, after 45 years in law enforcement, I think it's time for me to retire, at least from this position here as Chief of Police in Santa Maria. It's been a labor of love. I don't take this lightly. I absolutely love this department. I love the people I work with. But part of my task as the chief here has been to prepare people to take my spot. And I have a wonderful, experienced, ethical, well-educated staff of people that's ready to move up into the next positions and take this thing to the next level. So I just think it's probably time.
Okay. Are you leaving totally on your terms, completely planned? It seems you'd let me know. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I had actually considered, I came here almost 8 years ago, and as part of the rebuilding of the department. Under then Chief Martin brought me up. And it's funny, I told him I didn't know how that was going to work out. I told him I'd give him 2 years, and here I am almost 8 years later, because I've absolutely loved it. It's been a wonderful experience for me. And so as time has gone on, I just decided it was part of my job as the chief here is to do succession planning and get people ready to take my spot. And I think they're ready. And like I said, Scott, I've got 45 years in this business now, and it's been a wonderful career. And I'm sure I'll stay active in some ways, but I think it's just time. And I was going to go earlier this year, but I felt that with the challenges posed by the pandemic and by the budget problems that were created by the pandemic, and as you know, we had a summer of discontent, civil disturbances and whatnot. I felt it wouldn't be right for me to leave this last summer when I had originally planned on that, but fortunately things have calmed down. We've got a handle on the budget process. I think we're handling the pandemic as well as we can. And so I think it's a relatively stable time and a good time to hand it off. So yes, it's just totally my decision at this time.
Okay. It sounds as though you are hopeful that your replacement will come from within the ranks of the department.
Yes, frankly, I think we have the talent here. Absolutely. Now that'll be up to the city manager and the city council and whatnot, obviously. But I have a very, very talented staff here, and like I said, experienced, ethical, hardworking, and well-educated. And I think we have the talent in-house. So that would be my recommendation. But it's up to the powers that be after I leave.
We talked a bit about this in our last interview over the summer, but I sense a pride that you have in the way that this department was transformed and the relationship that the officers have been able to establish with the community.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Scott. I feel as though we've got a culture of service. This department is in a very good position right now. And I have officers that represent this community. They live here, they work here, they are invested in the department and in the community at large, and they care. It's a culture that they're out there enforcing the law, they're out there protecting people, doing their job, but they're doing it in such a way that they do it with respect. They treat people with the dignity that they deserve, and I think we're doing really a pretty wonderful job. That doesn't mean we can't do a better job, and we're always looking for ways to improve. As a matter of fact, I commissioned about 6 months ago, I commissioned an audit of the department through an entity called OIR Group, and they are a very well-regarded group of professionals, former civil rights attorneys and whatnot, that go out and audit police departments to check on things like professionalism, transparency, how you handle your disciplinary process, your complaint process, your internal investigations and whatnot. And they're about to give their report. They'll give their report to City Council on the 15th of December, actually. And I haven't seen it. It's a completely independent audit, and I'm the one that commissioned it, but I have high hopes that it's going to confirm that we're doing a fine job here, and I'm sure it'll have suggestions, because there's always things that we can do better, but it's part of the process, and I'm just exceptionally proud of the people and the work that they're doing here.
And a lot of that has to do with community policing, right? What was it you said to me that you tell your officers that you're far outnumbered by
Oh
citizens?
yeah, what I like to call constitutional policing. Different people will come up with a different word for it, but to me, the essence of constitutional policing is an understanding and a belief that you derive your power from the people that you're policing, the very people you serve. Uh, as officers, we don't get our authority from the city. We don't get our authority from the state. As far as I'm concerned, we get our authority from the community that we're serving out there. And I always ask them, new officers, if they know how many people live in the city, and it's well over 100,000. You know, we're probably at 115,000 or so at this point. And then I ask them how many officers there are, and there are only about 130 officers. I said, so you do the math. We're outnumbered 1,000 to 1. We're not going to take them by force. We do this job because the community empowers us to do our job. And I think that's the essence of what I call constitutional policing, is that understanding that we're serving that community out there. We don't have the authority over them uh, without their giving us that authority to exercise. It's important. It's important balance to remember.
You came here from Los Angeles and the county
That's
department, is
correct.
that right? The sheriff's department,
36 years on Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, yes.
which is huge, right? And then you come to the relatively smaller community of Santa Maria.
Uh-huh.
As you look back on it all, you know, what did you enjoy about it, and how was it different?
It's vastly different, and I'll always be proud of my service in Los Angeles, and I think we did, and that department continues to do a fine job. They're a top flight department, but it's a different feel here, Scott, because it's community driven. Like I said, I hate to say it, when a lot of my youth as a patrolman in Los Angeles, that kind of thing, you felt like you were an occupying force, more or less. You know, you drove 30 or 40 miles from your home to the station that you worked at, put your time in, and then you came home. So you didn't have that same connection with the community. In a place like Santa Maria, our officers, they live here or they live so close by that they're affected by what happens in this community. We shop here, kids go to school here, they coach the kids in the little leagues and stuff like that. And there's an investment there that's a little bit different. It's a different feel than Los Angeles, where you kind of get lost in the masses down there. There are 18,000 personnel on my old department in Los Angeles County, the sheriff's department down there, and it's easy to feel like you're working for the federal government or something, you know, kind of get lost in the masses, where here there's always that personal touch. And I think it reflects in the service that we provide here.
And Chief, that is all that I have for you, unless you have anything else that you'd like to add.
No, not really, Scott, other than it's been a labor of love for me. I have, it'll always be a great honor for me to have served on this department in any capacity. I'm proud of what we've done here, and just so proud of the people that I've had an opportunity to work with here, and the support that we've had from this community and the city council and the city manager's office. I mean, it's a team effort in Santa Maria, and makes you pretty proud to work here, and it's been a wonderful time. So thank you.